Hi everyone, doing not a review, this isn't a review, I've just got the knife. Doing an unboxing of the Mora Garberg, and then I'll probably take it out and do some quick first impression sub cuts. So let's have a look. Let's take it to the tabletop. So here's how my knife came. I ordered the one with the multi-mount sheath. I'm not the biggest fan of the leather sheaths. This is what the box says. So it's just got all of its dimensions there. Imperial and metric. You've got a bit of a blurb about the knife. Super robust, it says. Powerful. Powerful even. So there we go. We'll see how powerful it feels in hand in a second. Side on view. Got a little Mora seal there that I'll need to break. To do that, I will use another Mora. Lifetime warranty. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure how that works in practice, but there you go. Let's pop this bad boy open. Whoop. Bits coming out already. Well, well, well. That's a fair few things, isn't it? It's like a leathery strap there. Wow, okay. Very interesting. I'll have to do the maths and look at the diagrams on how all this goes together. But we're not here to talk about the sheath. That'll come in the full review. Let's talk about the knife. It is like a sort of modern version of those classic, those more classic sheaths. That's how it feels right now anyway. So that's kind of cool. Got a snap at least, no Velcro. Yeah, I'm going to have to work this out. It's way too complicated. Just right now, it's 10 in the morning and I must admit I only just got up. I worked a late shift. So this is the knife. As you can see, it is very prominently a full Tang. They're showing off that Tang. They got a whole bunch of Tang sticking out. They got Tang for days, as others would say. Then there's a big hole in there, so don't know. I assume that's still strong enough. It must have enough metal coming in either side. But that is your lanyard hole there, which I guess is nice and plentiful. Sort of a bit fluted or something. It's got a little shape in there as well. So there you go. This is the handle of the knife. Pretty neutral looking handle, which for a Bushcraft knife you must admit is probably the best choice. I always like fairly neutral handles. A little bit of a flare out to protect your fingers there, and you've got the blade. It's sort of a bit of a beefier looking blade. It looks a bit like the Mora Forest blade with that sort of extra little hump there. Very, very sharp spine. I can feel that already here. And the other side, of course, it says it is a Mora knife. So this one is stainless. I think they all came stainless. I'm sure they'll follow up with a carbon model. This is the 14C28N stainless. So it's the same knife steel that the Kershaw Skylines come in, which is, it's a mid-level stainless. It's on par, in my opinion, with about VG10. I quite like it as a steel, to be honest, in pocket knives. And I'm sure it's, as I always say with my fixed blade knives, I don't think they need the highest quality stainlesses. They just need fairly tough or, softer stainlesses. So I'm sure it's fine. So the blade length is 109 millimeters, 4.3 inches. It's a 229 millimeter or 9-inch knife in total. The blade weighs 8.5 ounces and 240 grams. The blade thickness 3.2 millimeters. So 1.13 inches. Let's compare this knife to first my favorite little companion knife, the Falcon F1, and it is a little bit bigger. Actually, it's about an inch bigger. It's a finger width bigger. Just a little bit. Let's compare it to a Mora companion. Just a half a finger width bigger than that. Different shape and all that. The Mora companion's got that sort of, it's about the same size actually. Got that sort of bent over, almost, somewhat pistol grip. Getting there anyway. I know that's an exaggeration, but there you go. So that's it next to some other knives. In hand, it's a lot heavier. Well, it's a little bit heavier than the companion. And it's a little bit lighter than the F1, probably just because the steel is still not quite as thick, but getting to about the same weight and definitely the same capability and purpose behind the knife. Let's zoom in, get some shots of before use, and then we'll take it out and use it. Stay tuned, folks. Alrighty, so what are my thoughts after 20 minutes to half an hour of testing? The knife comes fairly sharp. It's not that crazy absolute Scandi grind that you get when you get like a Mora Companion or a Classic. It is made to be more of a survival knife for the Western market, so they put on a micro bevel on there just to stop that Scandi edge from rolling so bad, which it didn't. It held up really, really well. I battened through some of the harder wood I've got, and as you saw in the video, it got really stuck and I had to really smash it on through, and no adverse effects to the blade. So as you've seen other blades on my channel shatter in that same wood, so it's definitely a tough knife. I'd be happy to call it on that and give it that just after this little bit of testing. It carves pretty well. You know what, as I'm going to be interested to hear what other people have to say about this knife, especially the people that buy it themselves and you know, don't get it sent to them by Mora. I don't think it's the most comfortable knife to carve with, which is a pretty cardinal sin for a Mora knife. This handle's really hard plastic, and it's got all this stuff here that's probably designed to provide grip. Actually, kind of grips the hand in the wrong way. I think the best handles for carving knives, you know, perhaps look at the original companion. I think it's when you do cover it with a slightly rubberier material. I think it does just, it makes it sort of broadly grippy without actually relying on parts of your hand to fall into micro grooves like this one does here. So it's actually not particularly comfortable. It's comfortable enough to grip. I found myself wanting to put my thumb on the back of the knife when I was carving, and that's fine. You just have a really sharp spine if you do want to do that, and it's good they haven't put too huge of a ramp here to stop that. But when you just hold it and grip and really sort of carve down, it isn't super comfortable. And another thing, I've got large sized hands. I wear the large sized gloves, and yeah, this is a fairly big knife. Like, it's a fairly big handle. Like my it's kind of like, you'd think it's going to be a smaller handle. Like, so this Mora, you can really sort of get your fingers touching your palm really well. It sort of feels a bit thinner. This is kind of getting towards the you know, it's a matter of millimeters, but you know, I think for someone with smaller hands, they might struggle with it. So yeah, I was surprised by that. I thought it was going to be super comfy, but it's actually just a really hard plastic. It's not particularly, not particularly comfortable. I think the Strong Arm is more comfortable. I think the Mora Companion's more comfortable. I think the Falcon Even F1's more comfortable. I think the Bushcraft Black is much more comfortable. So yeah, just interesting. I would much prefer they covered it with that type of material. Another thing, the grind is good. It splits wood well enough. It's pretty shallow Scandi really. It's not as high as some other knives you get, but it seems to split and manage the task pretty well. Factory edge sharpness, not super high. It does shave hair if you really kind of push it in there. Sharpness in the spine though is fantastic. It really does throw a lot of sparks. I stuck the knife into that log and really threw sparks off of it. So that was good stuff. $130. What do you think of that? That's probably going to be the main thing, but those are my points from the get-go. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.